Good morning and welcome to the technical breakdown from Crypto Collective. My name is Mark and I'm going to be guiding you through this morning's session. Here at Crypto Collective, we are a group of crypto enthusiasts that like to bring you the best information from fundamentals through to technicals so that you can make an educated assessment on which cryptocurrency you would like to be involved in. Today's technical outlook will be focusing on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, VeChain and Ripple. It's going to be a short, punchy session, but please remember, guys, we are not investment advisors. All we're trying to do is give you the latest and best information so that you can make an educated assessment, as previously said. Okay, so Bitcoin, following on from yesterday's technicals, price didn't quite make it to our 59,500 projection where we wanted to see buyers come in. Buyers did step in a little bit early, a little bit ahead of our zone. But let's just drop down to the hourly chart, and what I want to show you is that although buyers have stepped in, we still haven't broken out of this short-term correction that's in play. Now, the correction I'm referring to is this on the hourly chart. I'm just going to draw it in for you here. As you can see, this channel that has been formed. And although we are in a bullish sort of momentum here in the short period from when we touched the lows sort of mid-afternoon yesterday, in order for us to confirm that we're going to have bullish momentum to the upside, we need to see that this descending channel trend line here breaks and we see a new high. This will then give us more upside for continued bullishness in Bitcoin. As we see Bitcoin appreciate in value, obviously this is pulling other markets with it. So watch out for either Bitcoin to pull back down in towards that 59,500 towards the 59,000 even handle as another buying opportunity, not just on Bitcoin but through some altcoins, or alternatively looking for that resistance trend line to break and more upside to follow. Moving over to Ethereum, we're just going to focus on the daily chart and looking at where the all-time highs were at 2,500 and basically 50, a couple of dollars short. We saw yesterday's correction. We know that yesterday's correction, or we believe that yesterday's correction was primarily down to Turkey banning the transactions. And I think the way the rest of the crypto world see this is that that was a nice little sell-off to give us a buying opportunity to get into what is a very bullish market at the moment. Now we look at Ethereum, based on the daily chart, it didn't really come into any structural points. So what we have to do in order to identify whether there's anywhere to get involved in this market is we drop down the timeframes to have a look and see if we can see any sort of momentum forcing it back to the upside. Now I'm just going to bring in my drawing tool here. If we look at the hourly chart, you can see how the hourly formed a lower low, meaning we broke this low here and put in a new low here, but it did come into this structural point here. So what we want to see from this is, does price actually move higher and pull back and then create new highs? If so, when we break this high at this point marked out, which we did, this should pave the way for another push back up to the all-time highs at that 2,550. But real bullish sentiment will come once we break these highs here, and then we can look to trade all corrections moving higher until price fails. Should price come up to the 2,550 barrier and then start to decline, a break below 2,320, we'll see further downside, and then we'll be looking for more strategic entry opportunities. Dogecoin, the coin spoke about all day yesterday, and we did touch on it briefly, which was around 9 AM when we sent out our previous video, which if we look at where we were, I think it was around 28 cents, and I was saying that this would be a really good place to be taking some profits. We'd seen a huge 150% gain. Okay, I was wrong. It was a great place to be taking profits, but who thought we would have seen another 100% gain? Those that stayed in, fantastic, but look, life does like to bring these corrections, and it came straight back down to the 28 barrier where I was looking to take profits. Now, is it a good time to be looking at buying into this market again? Do we think it's going to hit the $1 mark that's been talked about? You've got to remember the $1 mark that's been talked about is purely hype. It's not based on the coin itself. So things to watch out for will be this sort of channel here that's being formed. You can see how price is operating here, a break above this area, and we're probably going to test the highs yesterday, and a break above that we will continue to see more upward movement. There is plenty of volume in this market and it is being bought, so just be patient and wait for the market to give you those clues. If there is a deeper correction, who knows, that could be a great buying opportunity, and we only need one more tweet from Elon Musk or Snoop Doggy Dogg and we're probably going to get more momentum like this. It is one of the most talked about cryptocurrencies out there, and yesterday there was an announcement that we have our first crypto billionaire in Dogecoin, worth around 15 billion. So just remember guys, looking for confirmed breaks above structure before we get involved. Now, one cryptocurrency that we are heavily involved in that we do like, not just from technical play but from fundamental, and this is something that we're going to look for long-term holds, and any deep corrections will continue to look for buying opportunities. So if we just look at this on the daily chart, it's very difficult to sort of forecast any sort of correction areas because it has been quite parabolic. So the only way we can look for entry opportunities is on corrections, but on a smaller time frame. So we'll drop down to the 4-hour, and what we can see here is that price is stalling around the current level after such impulsive candles. We've got this nice big shooting star followed by a doji, which gives us the feeling that the momentum in this market is fading now and there's probably going to be a correction. But remember, sometimes with crypto, don't be fooled, a correction could just be a pause in the market before it goes again. So I'm not going to be a seller of this market, but if we do retrace back into somewhere like this 18.5 cents barrier, I will be looking at buying opportunities. If we break the highs here at 27, 28 cents, then I'll be looking for corrections as this market is in full momentum. Another market that is heavily talked about right now through the SEC and potentially where can Ripple go? Is it going to hit $10? Who knows, but what we can say is that there is a flood of market activity within Ripple. After the last open conference with Ripple and the SEC, we've seen that Ripple has increased in value around 300% since just the beginning of April, 5th of April. Now, where do we see a buying opportunity? Again, we saw that couple of days correction period. We failed to close below this big bullish candle here. If we drop down to the 4-hour chart, you'll see we've got a nice excuse me, a nice bull flag or channel being formed on the smaller time frame, which is this in here. Now, what could happen here is price can continue to rotate lower in towards this structural area, and this could form a nice buying opportunity just underneath the 1.4 barrier. But if you are going to buy here, you can be quite aggressive with stops somewhere underneath this area. Alternatively, you're going to wait for the descending trend line to break, very much similar to that we looked at on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So waiting for that new high to be formed, then a correction before we can look for more highs. Well, that's it from Mark at Crypto Collective today. Hope you have a fantastic trading day, and remember that Saturdays are usually very bullish as most traders are at home and not working. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.